Hi everybody, welcome to the Brooks Berdan video channel. I'm Ken Davis with Brooks Berdan, the sales director, and I'm really excited today because I'm here with Isaac Markowitz from Audioquest. But before we get into it and start talking about cables, punch the like, hit the subscribe, ring that little bell that gives you a notification next time we do a video so that you watch it again, and we really appreciate it. Thank you guys for watching. Isaac and I had the really great opportunity today to spend some time together. We listened to a lot of cables with our whole staff, talked about the technology and the reason that cables make a difference. And one of the things I was really most intrigued by and convinced that this is so important is this, because it's a button, it's cool, right? Tell us about that. I'm just going to, while you talk, I'll just keep pushing the button.
Thanks, Ken. So this is the Dialect bias system from Audioquest. Once you've started the process of manufacturing a really good cable, regardless of who that manufacturer is, one of the biggest causes of distortion is the insulation itself absorbing energy from the conductor, which is transmitting your audio signal.
So insulation is what's separating the conductors so they are not shorting out.
That's
so they
exactly
don't touch each
right.
other.
Unfortunately, what a lot of people don't know or may not be aware of is that insulation isn't perfect. In fact, another name for insulation is dielectric or partly electric.
Okay.
And as that name implies, that means the insulation can actually absorb some energy from the audio signal. And what the dielectric bias system does is saturate that insulation with an electrical field strong enough that it can no longer absorb or put energy back into the signal.
And that electrical energy is created how? How do we get energy?
So we actually have just a little battery pack that sits inside of this. The battery pack on average is good for 7 to 9 years. And we use a formed capacitor straight out of the Niagara 7000. So an $8,000 power conditioner creates the capacitor that we use in this little box. And what it's doing is preventing that signal from being damaged by the insulation, putting energy back into the conductor.
Okay, fascinating. Does anybody else use this technology?
It's actually a patent that's exclusive to ourselves and one speaker manufacturer, so you won't find any other cable manufacturer in the world using the dielectric bias system.
So we're going to say if we want to get this kind of benefit from cable, we should be using an Audioquest cable.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know, the other thing I'm going to ask you about, one more thing we talked about
Sure.
today, because you spend so much time and I really appreciate that, and thank you for doing this quick video with us. You talked about some differences in copper and silver.
Yes.
And why is that important? I know you explained it to us earlier, but tell us why that's important.
Sure. So in the context specifically of a digital cable like this, entry-level cables are always going to use copper because of the cost factor, right? But silver is a superior material. In fact, silver defines conductivity. Everything in the world that is electrical uses silver as the reference for transmission of electrical signals. So as we're able to add more and more silver, we're able to have less and less distortion on the surface of the cable. By the time we get to something like diamond, it's 100% perfect surface silver. So now we don't have any copper in the cable at all to give different bits of the information a different characteristic.
And you mentioned the surface. Why do we want that surface to be so good?
That's a great question, Ken. One of the things that's important to realize about, especially in digital audio, but is also true of high frequency analog information, is that all of that information is carried on the outside of the conductor. It's called the skin effect. So the higher the frequency of the information, and by definition, digital is high frequency, that information travels along the surface. So the better, the smoother you can make that surface, the smoother the grain boundaries, the less damage, the less distortion is introduced into the signal.
Isaac, I can't tell you how much I really appreciate you being here.
Thank
you so much.
Absolutely.
You've been very inspirational today with all we talked about. It's been fun. If you have some questions about these cables, about why or what or how, put them in the comments below. I'll be sure to answer them. And please hit the like, punch the subscribe, ring that little bell so you get the notification. Thanks so much.